Hi everybody, welcome back to 100% Max. So this is your match review for the game against Norwich today down at Carrow Road, and unfortunately, this wasn't a very good game for us Newcastle United fans. Of course, 2,000 Newcastle fans travelled down there. It was about 30 quid a ticket. I feel really sorry for all the fans that had to travel down there to that game today. Of course, Pukki getting a hat-trick against us as well. He scored 29 goals last season in the Championship for Norwich. And today, of course, he managed to get himself a hat-trick against us. He got one in the game against Liverpool on the opening day of season. So that means that he's now got 4 goals in the Premier League so far for Norwich. And of course, he's the highest scorer for Norwich this season. Now, Newcastle just looked very much all over the place today. They lacked that enthusiasm that they showed in the first half against Arsenal on the opening day of the season. They just looked more like the Newcastle side from the second half against Arsenal. At St James's. They didn't seem to want to play. They didn't know what they were doing today, to be honest. Matt Ritchie again had an absolute terrible match. Absolute shite house of a game again. He's been playing really bad in these 2 games, to be honest, the way things are going at the moment, Newcastle really don't look like we're going to be getting to the high end of the table. It looks more like we're going to be going down if this kind of performances keep going. Steve Bruce as well, it showed him a couple of times as I was watching it on BN Sport, and to be honest, it showed you Steve Bruce a few times. He just didn't look like he knew what he was doing. And that's not what you want to see from your manager. When you look to the sideline last season, I know it's a little bit of a downer, but at the end of the day, you look to the touchline, last season, and you're seeing Rafa Benitez, you're seeing him standing there, working his hands, telling the players what to do, telling them where to go. You looked at the touchline today and you say, Steve Bruce, hands in his pocket, just staring at the pitch. No enthusiasm, no hand movements, no shouting orders to the players, and the players are just like running around on the pitch. They're backing off. People like Pukki, he was down in the Championship, non offence to the guy, because at the end of the day, everybody's got to start somewhere, but he was down in the Championship, scoring 29 goals last season. And then he comes up in the Premier League this season. Norwich are a newly promoted side in the Premier League. This is our 3rd season in the Premier League since coming up in the 16-17 season. And it is absolutely beyond a joke what is going on at Newcastle. We'll get rid of a world-class manager like Rafa Benitez to bring in Steve Bruce. Yes, I'll give him a chance, but after these 2 games, you're really starting to push how far people have to give you a chance, because the way Newcastle played today against the newly promoted side in Norwich City is beyond a joke. There was absolutely no tactics at all. You couldn't see any tactics being used by Newcastle. Steve Bruce wasn't shouting orders to the players. The players didn't know what they were doing. They were backing off the Norwich players a whole load in the match. There was very little shots from Newcastle, if any, to be honest. Tim Krul was in goal for Norwich. Newcastle didn't at least once try to even attempt a shot at goal right the way until John Joe Shelvey scored his goal. At the last minutes of the game, John Joe Shelvey scored a goal. That was probably the first time all match, that Newcastle got a shot on target against Tim Krul. Now, don't get us wrong, Tim Krul's an amazing goalkeeper. He was a great goalkeeper when he was with Newcastle, but you've got to at least try to have shots on goal. You can't just pass the ball around, whipping long balls over the top, hoping for them to go to Joe Linton. You know, that's what Newcastle were doing today, and it was just absolute and utter shite football. Nothing that we've seen under Rafa Benitez, you know, nothing that we've seen in the past under Kevin Keegan during the 90s, nothing that we've seen from Bobby Robson. You know, this kind of football reminded us of Sam Allardyce, you know, Alan Pardew, Steve McLaren, you know, them kinds of managers, and that is exactly the kind of manager that Steve Bruce is. You know, he shouldn't even be at the club. He should be out. He should be down in the Championship where he belongs. He doesn't deserve to be at a club like Newcastle United. He doesn't deserve to have a loyal support like Newcastle's fans. You know, and Mike Ashley doesn't deserve to have a loyal support like Newcastle's fans. It's an utter disgrace, and he just needs to fuck right off out the club. Steve Bruce needs to go. Mike Ashley needs to go. And there needs to be a complete and utter clean out at Newcastle United. Otherwise, we're going down this season. Full stop. Let us know what you think down in the comments below. But that game today against Norwich draws the line for me. Absolute and utter shitfest. See you all next time.